This is the Real Melbourne podcast, the central point of this beautiful city's culture. I'm Alex Dickinson. This is going to be our first Zoom quarantine interview, but I'm very excited for this guest right here. Someone who's carved his name into the industry, into the Melbourne club scene, you know, trying out different sounds, different techniques, really bringing the attention back to the DJ. And as a DJ myself, I really appreciate for someone that's bringing something new to the table. Got my man DJ Smilez on Zoom. Welcome, my friend.
Yo, thanks for having me, bro. Appreciate it.
Most definitely, man. You've been quarantining like a absolute champ with all these live streams going on, bro. I can see the setup in the background right now.
Yeah, man, it's good fun. It's keeping me sane, bro. Like it's basically just like recording your jam sessions, you know? So it's just cool. It's fun.
Yeah, bro. But yo, what's interesting to me is that like you're kind of still bringing that same experience that you do from like your sets at whether it be Trastillo or like Laundry, whereas like people are joining in on your lives and they're reposting like, oh, you missed out on the best set. DJ Smilez is playing crazy shit. Like that is so fucking dope, and that's rare to see, man.
Yeah, man, it's beautiful, bro. Like I think like I've got my following and my fans are really like supportive. You know, they actually want to see me win. I'm surrounded by good surroundings. That's probably the main one.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, man. I guess I'm doing something different. I guess like my music is different. It's fun. It's weird, but it's cool. You know.
Yeah, bro. I really feel like after this quarantine shit is done, like you're going to be winning. Like you've already been winning at the clubs, but you're definitely going to be winning afterwards because, right, if you're killing the sets on IG, like why wouldn't promoters want to book you?
Yeah, I mean, I appreciate that, bro. Like, I don't know. It's a weird conversation. Hey, like nightclubs and stuff. Because yeah, like I don't know. Like everybody has their own opinion for nightclubs. And nightclubs for me, it's fun and it's cool, but I think I'm focusing more on like being the kind of more like an artist. You know, people come out to see artists and to hear their music, and I like to think that's how I do my sets. So nobody will play my music ever. You know, so essentially it's like it's an experience. You know, because you're never going to hear this unless I put it out on, you know, say I'll put out a mix or something on SoundCloud. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I like to, like when I'm doing my sets, for me, it's very important that not only is the music right, but everything's right. The whole vibe's right. The crew's right. You know, the energy's right. So it's much further than just being a DJ, which is, like just quickly, it's probably like for a moment in my DJing in the past 2 years, I've always thought about removing DJ off my name, purely because I think I am more than a DJ. And when you label yourself as a DJ something, then it's like people, you know, like that you're just a DJ. And I like to think that I'm way more than a DJ. Okay. Just because I think I like to think artistically, like a lot deeper than just music, you know? So, yeah, man. But like, that's just, I mean, I'm past that. I'm still DJ Smilez, you know, I'm still Smilez, I'm Smilinho. But yeah, no, yeah, that's that.
Yeah, man. Most definitely. I mean, let's bring it back to sort of like humble beginnings for you. Like, you started off as a dancer though, didn't you?
Yeah. Yeah, many years ago. I was b-boying, bro. I was b-boying for about, man, I was dancing all my life. So I was dancing since I was 5 years old. I'm 28 now. Mm-hmm. So I was dancing from 5 to about 5 years ago, which is like 23. Yeah, I was doing it professionally. I was traveling around Australia. I was competing. That's how I got Smilez, fun fact, like because of dancing, you know. So I think dance. Yeah, I started from dancing, and then I got older and a lot lazier. And DJing was a thing. DJing was a beautiful thing, you know?
Yeah, bro. What was it about? Like, I have my reasons for getting into DJing, but my reasons ended up changing. Like a couple of years getting into it and really respecting the music. But what was your initial reasons for getting into DJing?
Straight up off the bat, there was like, and I always shout this one homie out. His name's DJ Pumbaa. So when I was like 16, I used to go to school with his little brother, and we always used to go to his gigs, his DJ gigs. We'd help him set up, you know, private functions.
Yes.
You know that, right? Yeah. So we were like his dancers, his backup dancers. You know, every party or every nightclub we'd go there. We'd break it down in a circle, and that was that. That's kind of that. And then there was a personal moment in our life where, you know, Pumbaa wasn't feeling so well, and his decks were just there. So his turntables was just chilling, collecting dust. And me and one of his younger brothers just decided to, like, let's just, you know, try. We no idea what we were doing. We kind of just like, and it became a hobby, and then it became, yo, let me buy this equipment off you, because I knew he needed the money, and because, like a lot of personal things. And then, I ended up buying a turntable off him. I bought a Vestax mixer.
Classic.
And Vestax actually sent me the wrong mixer. So I got an upgraded one of the one I purchased.
Crazy.
Which is funny. Yeah, I've got it laying around somewhere. But anyway, so yeah, I've got I bought that equipment, and then when Pumbaa got healthier and became, you know, stronger again, we showed him. We were like, yo, come check this out. And I would always go to his house and practice on his decks and whatever. And then we showed him. He was tripping out, like, because we had never asked him, like, how do we had an idea of, just by watching how to cue a song in Serato and how to, you know, do certain things, how to put the needle on the vinyl. Like, we knew certain things, but like highs and lows, we never knew. Highs, lows, we didn't know. We knew crossfaders and volumes, so we were just using the volumes just to crossfade.
No cuts.
Yeah, no cuts, nothing. We, like, again, I think after we showed him that we were like, you know, we were into it, he began, like, he taught me how to juggle. He taught me how to juggle a beat. And then just from that one juggle, you know, we'd add on a certain thing. And then, it kind of just elevated that way. So I don't know. I think being a dancer, I've always loved music, man. Music, and it becomes a lot more delicate when you like, Pumbaa is a vinyl collector too. So it becomes more precious when you start playing vinyl as well.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, to be honest, I don't judge, man. Like, it's kind of like, I love it. Yeah, bro. I love music. Hey, I really do. And that's kind of just it. The way Pumbaa was playing parties back then, I was like, man, this guy's sick. Like, he's dope, man. I'm trying to do that shit. So, So, yeah, I think hands down, I got to thank Pumbaa. I always thank him, because I'm just like, and it's cool to hear him say to me, man, like, yo, bro, you're killing it. Because, like, honestly, back then it was like, he gave me, like, first, like, maybe like 10 crates of music, you know, and like, it was a proper start. It was enough to rock a party, you know, like, enough to do a private function.
10 crates he gave you?
Yeah, probably more, to be honest. Yeah, probably more.
So how much vinyls is that? What is that? That's like, is that?
Oh, no.
like 600?
I mean, I mean digital crates.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah. I thought you meant real vinyl. Like, shit, you're just giving this shit away? That's crazy.
Nah. He wouldn't do that. Hey, I mean, I've got my own vinyl collection. It's not that big. Just over the years that I've like albums and stuff that I like, I've loved. But yeah, no. He gave me like digital music, and that was it. That was the start for me.
Dope, man. Well, like, speak on, like, I really like your interview with Born and Bred, and something that resonated with me is what you said, like, when you first started getting into the club scene, that sort of stuff, like, clubs would kind of hire 10 DJs and everyone was sounding the same, and you're asking yourself, like, do they even love the music? So I think from there, it's like, that's an obvious switch to, like, where you got your original music, but explain how you were feeling at that time, man.
Yeah, well, I'm a very like I get bored easily kind of person. So like I can't just sit there and do the same thing. Otherwise it feels like a day job. And I've always like, I'm the kind of person, I like to believe that I'm the kind of person to make like the best out of the worst situation. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like back then, the clubs, I mean, as a DJ, like that's the start. That's the beginning. It's like you do the private function stuff. People begin to start listening to you. You move on to a nightclub. Someone's found you get into one nightclub. I was at one nightclub for 1 year. I never played any other nightclub because nobody wanted me. Everybody had their DJs and whatever. But yeah, I guess I got into the nightclubs. And when I finally broke those boundaries and I started playing at 7 other nightclubs, I guess, one of those things is like, you don't know what it's actually like till you have it. And that's what it was like for me. It was like, wow, this is what I was hoping for like a year ago. And I don't know, I guess, within about 3 years ago, 3 years ago was when I was like, I can't do this anymore. Like, I can't DJ. Like, I hate it. I just don't like it. I don't like the music I'm playing. I just hated everything about it. So I guess that was bad for me mentally, you know what I mean? So I wanted to really just play what I listen to, what I like to dig, like things that actually made me, and I think that's what a lot of like DJs don't realize is that, I mean, I understand it's bread and butter, like in terms of like income wise and stuff, like I understand it. Because I was going to a hella good paycheck to almost little to no gigs, at one point. Like that's how it went, it was a real big, like, I'm really going high. I'm doing all these clubs. And then it just went like, wait, okay, I can't do this club. I got to get rid of that club. I got to get rid of this club. I'm getting no money. And then, little to no money. And eventually, I guess just blossom and really knuckle down on what I believe in, and really give out what I believe in, really push forward what I believe in. So, yeah.
But for you, was it like the clubs wouldn't let you experiment with different music? What was it?
Maybe it was like, maybe, I don't know. Maybe I just felt like, when it's a certain brand, so you kind of put that certain brand, like you're a new worker, you're like a new worker that has just joined this business, but this business is already established itself. It already kind of knows what it wants, you know what I mean? They think they know what they want anyway.
Yeah.
Until they hear me come along, who's that weird person who wants to give his own. And like the thing was as well, like with the nightclubs, I was giving I was putting my take on the music, you know, like I was always mixing and throwing in something weird and something interesting. But over time, it was getting to, at the beginning, we really, really fuck with you. And then over time, over a period of time, it was like, all right, this is dope, but can you play more of this? And slowly and slowly, that just increased. And so I was falling back in that category of, wait, let me just play what you want, so that way you're happy and I get paid. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And yeah, I guess that's how it was. I'm not gonna. Yeah, most clubs they don't really let you play what you want, man. Like a club's a club to me. Like it's a gimmick.
It's a gimmick.
Like it's yeah, they're not really trying to like let you do what you're trying to do. As a club, you know, I'm talking that a club is open on the same night every week, you know, and they're just playing the same music. Nobody will complain either, because it's like, oh yeah, cool, 12 p.m. it's mosh pit time. Mm-hmm. Fire, cool. But then, you know, there's parties that like you said, Tresillo, you know, Saudi Systems in Sydney, that are really opening the boundaries of like what it is to be more than a party, rather than just like quality music, and it be more like, yeah, just more fun, you know, just more like, just different, you know. A DJ can essentially do what he wants. Mm-hmm. And that's like another reason why I did my own party. I did one in November last year. I actually was planning to do one in May, but this ISO thing came through.
And everything.
Yeah. So kind of. Maybe it was a good sign for me to just really try and contemplate what I actually wanted to give out. But yeah, so like even the whole reason for me playing my party was to show people that, like, I guess, I had a different catalog of music. Mm-hmm. And yes, I may have been known for old school music, or I may have been known to play this and that, but this is ultimately who I am at the moment. Mm-hmm. And I wanted to show that.
Yeah.
But again, like, no disrespect to nightclub. Now nightclubs aren't going to hire me, but like no disrespect to them. But a lot of if you're not going to try and work with the DJ, I think it's really hard. Mm-hmm. It's really hard to and that was my issue. I wasn't working well with a lot of nightclubs. Mm-hmm. I wanted to do a certain thing. They wanted to do a certain other, so we didn't meet, which is fine. It's totally fine. Like, you can't hate on that. That's the hustle, right?
Well, I think it's also like you and these certain events, like you've curated a crowd for your type of sound. Whereas,
yeah,
like, well, you're going to a club and they've already, like, people expecting to hear the hits and hear like strictly like no edits, like we just want originals. That's what it is. Like, they're going to get disappointed, and therefore the clubs are going to be like, well, I'm not going to hire this guy because he wasn't rocking the crowd. But but to your credit, you found those crowds that want that, and that's why I like with Tresillo and with Garden, Watermelon Sundays, like these type of events, like they curate an audience for that. It's a different type of audience where it's like you're getting a different experience. It's not the club experience, but you're going there to hear some new shit.
And well, exactly that. Like that's, and I think that's where my, I think that's where my, I guess that's where my heart is at the moment. And like, yeah, I just think, I mean, it's almost like, think about it like an underrated artist, you know, like so many people will be like, yeah, nah, they won't listen to him because they won't know him, right? Mm-hmm. But say you're a fan of this underrated artist, you're like, without thinking, you're going to be like telling your friend, oh, bro, you need to listen to this dude or this girl. Like, you need to listen to this. Like, bro, they went in on this. That's how it works for me. Like, it was like that. And that was the whole Smilez Effect thing, that came about. Like that, I didn't make that up. I ran with what was given to me.
That was the people, man.
Yeah, like not even being cocky about it. This is what people. I saw it. I realized that I don't even know who the first person to actually say the Smilez Effect, or when I say, I mean like a lot of people were tagging stories, and they would they'd write, the Smilez Effect, and I guess the more I saw it, I was like, oh shit, like I should run this up, like let's capitalize off this, of what's happening. So like it's a very similar thing, like and now, like, thinking about it, the Smilez Effect was like, looking back at it, the Smilez Effect was actually like me pulling up with a crew of about 10 people everywhere I went.
Mm-hmm.
And then, no disrespect to the DJ before or after me, but we came strong all the time. Every single set of mine, we had 10 people plus, and we bought the music, we bought the mosh, we bought we bought that energy, So it was almost like, if I started playing at 1 p.m. at this club, at 12:45, 15 minutes before my set, there's a line leading to the DJ booth. Mm-hmm. We get to the booth, and there's like 10 of us waiting. I start playing my first song, and then it's like, wow, there's a volcano or something, like, you know what I mean? So that's essentially, that's how I see it, and that's how I feel like I made a difference, especially like, and it started like with Tresillo as well, and again, not only was it the crew, it was also the music that made me different. I think that's where Tresillo was where I played like one of my first edits that I made, hella rough, and it got hella love, which I wasn't expecting. And I guess also that changed my mind of like, imagine playing like your own remixes or your own music, and people feeding off it like this. And it was at Section 8 too.
Okay.
Yeah, and I've got videos too. It was probably like my favorite, one of my highlights so far anyway. And to see people's reaction, and nobody knew that was my remix until I posted it out. I was like, yo, yeah, praise the Lord, this is mine.
There we go, praise the Lord. Yeah, I thought it was Bust Down, but yeah, praise the Lord was probably before.
Yeah. So so then that was probably the very, very beginning where I felt like, wow, this is a whole new love, DJ, producer DJ kind of styles. This is how Diplo feels, and it makes sense,
Yeah.
So, and that was it for me. That was where I started, trying to knuckle down the producer stuff.
Yeah, most def, man. Well, yeah, let's talk about like the influences, because like the sound is ballet funk, but mixed with a bunch of different genres, I assume. You play a lot of Drill Vandal and Paul Mon edits, but there might be some other inspirations and various other stuff that I might be missing here.
Yeah. So basically, if I was to professionally say what kind, I think that's one of the common questions a DJ gets. Like, if you tell someone that they're a DJ, they're like, oh, what music do you play? Firstly, I play hip hop. I'm a hip hop DJ from the very beginning, because this is all hip hop. All these samples, resampling is hip hop, and then so I play baile funk, which is kind of like Brazilian funk, a lot of like Latin rhythms, not reggaeton. I can, reggaeton is a part of it, but not much reggaeton. With nowadays there's so many subgenres. Yeah, and I guess a hell of a lot of edits, a lot of remixes, inspired by like Selection. Selection's probably one of my biggest, one of my first biggest inspirations into like getting into, lo-fi and getting into edits and getting into like flipping certain tracks. Jero Vandal as well. Jero Vandal, it was again Jero and Jael, which was I had the pleasure of meeting both of them. Were one of my very first like I was like damn, like I remember downloading their edit packs. And that was when I was like, oh, yeah, I enjoy playing this sound. This sound is weird. It's not really a category, you know what I mean? Like, you can't really categorize it. People will say, oh, yeah, this is, technical might say, oh, this is Afro beat because you're using African drums or something. But it's not really, or it's just like a mix-up song. It's just a weird song. Yeah, like the genre itself is we call it global club music or global world club music.
Okay.
So yeah, I just those guys were probably my main inspiration. But as of now, like, do I pay much attention to them? Not really. I'm very influenced by Amsterdam producers, Berlin. And maybe Amsterdam, Berlin, probably my highest countries in terms of producers. To be specific, people like there's this guy named Sosa in Berlin. Amsterdam, there's this other guy named Terracora.
Oh, I thought you were going to say that one. Yeah, crazy.
Yeah. But I mean, we like I don't know names off the top of my head, but a lot of I say the countries because I feel like they've inspired me a lot, and now I'm in a point where I'm in a WhatsApp group chat with all these guys that I speak of. You know what I mean?
That's crazy, yo.
Yeah, so it's crazy because my music gets hell of a lot of love from Berlin, right? So to be able to like communicate with the guys that I was like, yo, this is fire, this dude created, this is dope. So to be able to like communicate with them on a daily, and honestly, like it's on a daily basis, where we all just share unreleased edits, unreleased music. And yeah, it's cool, man. It's cool. It's networking, I guess.
Yeah, most def, man. I want to speak to how actually I met you, and that was actually through Culture Kings. And I think at the time you were the head Culture Kings DJ. And I asked you this question in person, and I'll ask you again now because it was because I really wanted to get your thoughts on this. But like when you stopped working at Culture Kings, it almost seemed like the success like just skyrocketed,
Yeah.
Is that accurate at all? Can you attribute that to it?
Yeah, like 100%. I remember you asking me this actually. Yeah, 100%. It's one of those things where like when one door closes, another one opens, and I think this might sound really silly, but I really found myself the more I was adapting, the more I was showing who I actually was and what I actually wanted you to hear. And all through that process, as well as my daughter, actually, it all really helped me find who I am, and finding myself really helped me like just focus on what I wanted to do, ultimately. And yeah, so again, like Culture Kings is a part of like the the same clubs that I left at the time, and again, it was one of those bigs, like, it's like quitting your job and not having a plan B, but believing in plan A so much that there's no room to even think about plan B. And that's kind of how I thought of, like, that's how it was for me. It was almost like, I mean, I'm not even at the point where I'm like, I've made it. I think there's a long, long way for me to go. There's a lot of things that I haven't done that I want to do. But again, one step at a time, and especially whilst this ISO thing is going on, like, we'll just kick back for a bit. Yeah. But yeah, no, I think it's definitely like one of those when one door closes, another one opens, but really, really believing in your product, in yourself, yeah, so just that mentality for me really, really worked. And I think that's yeah, it helped me. It helped me become who I am, I guess, So, yeah.
No, that's dope, man. And yeah, speaking of like, opportunities arising, when you close one door, the 16 bars thing was I guess was a pretty huge deal. And you got to be a part of that, man. How did that all come about?
Oh, yeah, 16 bars was cool. That was through Laundry. Oh, I think that was through Acclaim magazine. So, and I was working at Laundry at the time. So it all kind of connected. It was crazy because, I don't know, they just kind of hit me up. They sent me an email, and they must have gotten my email. I'm pretty sure it was through Acclaim. But yeah, it was a cool experience. It was my first time working with rappers. I've like fun fact, in my head, I don't even see myself being a rapper DJ, and maybe I am limiting myself. And I'll be honest with you, I've declined some big rappers of today, touring, worldwide.
Give us some names.
Agung Mango was one. Baker Boy was another. So, and I think looking back at it, I think I would accept the job now. Not because of my circumstances, just because I guess I know who I am more now than I was before. And even when I did decline those gigs, it was all in goodwill. Like, it wasn't in a bad place. It wasn't, their manager hit me up. They literally said to me, yo, we've got this amount of dates. You can be on tour for the whole month. You're going to get paid this. This is what's included. Sounded dope, man. It sounded crazy. Well, I didn't have to do nothing. I just had to press play. I had to scratch a little bit. As rapper DJs, I'd have to hype up the crowd a little bit. And yeah, no disrespect to them. I guess just at the time I wasn't mentally right. I didn't know what I wanted. I didn't know if that was the right decision for me. And so I respectfully declined.
So you're welcoming those opportunities now?
I am more open to them now. Would I do it for any rapper? It depends. It's very, it depends who it is. You know what I mean? So yes, I am open to DJing for rappers. I'm not open to making beats for rappers yet, but
right.
But eventually, maybe in time. Yeah, maybe in time.
Yeah, most definitely. But no, you, I guess you kind of have worked with rappers. I mean, your right-hand guys, the Type Boys, man, Claudia and Alan, man. Like, speak on your friendship and like the creative bond that you have with the three of you and how you bounce off each other.
Yeah. Yeah, bro. So they're the boys, you know. They're brothers before all this music stuff, man. So that's a beautiful thing. One, and then ultimately, I mean, Quabs wasn't even. So I met Quab. I met both of them at Culture Kings, which is funny. Yeah. So again, I'm not hating on my past. I'm thankful for everything that I've been through. And there's a lot more to do. But yeah, so I met Quabs first, and me and Quabs were kicking it for about maybe a year or two before we met Greg or Alan. And then yeah, I don't know, you know, when sparks just happen, you know. So we were just kicking it, and the more we were kicking it, the more fun it was. And then obviously, you know, we're very we like to be productive. People might think that we're getting lit every weekend, but there's a lot more going on than just us drinking and getting, you know, whatever on the weekend. So there was a lot more that we were doing. Obviously, like now, Quabs is when I met Quabs wasn't even rapping, bro.
Yeah, it was just modeling, huh?
Yeah, so he was doing his model thing, and yeah, he was just doing his model thing, and then Alan came along, and again, just the vibes was there, and then the more, you know, like you were chilling, and then the boys would just freestyle, you know, every time basically we were chilling, or every time they were lit. And yeah, I think Alan was just like, let me put these, like, let's lay some lyrics on some beats, like, let's do it. And then yeah, that was that. But again, everything happened. I think everything for my life right now has, for the vast majority, has not been forced. It's all come in good lining of the universe, and I'm grateful for that. And maybe it's because, again, it's got to do with a lot. You know, I think, like I said, I think I really know who I am now more than ever. And I think, yeah, that's how it is with the boys, you know, like it was always just like, it just happened. Things just happen. But yeah, to be honest with you, it was before like this whole Smilez thing, or DJ Smilez Effect was a bigger thing. Me and Quabs were doing that on our own, just us two. And then along the way, people were catching on. And then, you know, it'd be like me and Quabs and so. And then me, Quabs, and then my bro Kev, and then it just added on, you know. So and it's like when I was saying before about, like, you know, I was always rocking up with the crew. It was never like, yo, you guys gotta come to my gig. I promise you, I never told anybody to come to my gigs. It was all out of willingness. It was. You know, and I even tell the boys, I was like, yo, you don't have to come. Like, stay home, save money, because I know how they are, you know. And I bet you they can back you on what I was saying. And yeah, so, and it was crazy, but they were like, nah, we want to come. Like, we want to come, bro. Like, there's a good energy, good vibes. So, yeah, like, I think everything's just been, you know, real organic, real dope, real funny, a laugh. And again, now they're like my brothers. So it's like, it's just like smashing your older brothers and your younger brothers.
There we go, man. No, that's so sick, man. It's just, yeah, back to it, like the power in the people. Like, yeah, that's so crazy. You didn't even have to message anyone for you to come to, you know, the clubs or anything like that, but people just want to come because they know they're going to have a great time with you DJing, man. That's so sick.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's crazy to even think that or to even say it, but it's working a little bit. We just, we just got to keep going. We just got to keep our head down, our thumbs up, and just keep having fun. and see where it takes us, you know.
Most definitely.
So,
yeah, we're closing up, getting to the closing stages of the interview, but I do want to ask, you know, you put out your missus and your daughter a lot on social media, and they've obviously got a huge impact in your life. I want to ask, as you know, an OG, just basically like, what's the biggest thing that you've learned from starting your own family?
Man, good question. Biggest thing I've learned, that I think, like I said before, I think my daughter was one of the I mean, even my girlfriend. So they probably are one of the main reasons that I am so. I believe in. I honestly believe in what I have to offer, and to have their support and their backing. I think. Yeah, I think that's probably one of the greatest gifts I've ever gotten. You know what I mean? So I think So I just finding myself and knowing who I am, and knowing now that I have to provide for this family. You know, so it's not just like I can go out on the weekend and sleep in all day the next day and hope that, you know, it's all good. Although that I did, things change, and for the better, you know, for the better. Like I said, when one door closes, another one opens, and I think I really did, I really learned that myself, and also, you know, them, but individually we are strong, but together we're even stronger. And I think that's probably one of my favorite things. And that's another reason why I always share my daughter specifically anyway, is not only because social media can be the cruelest place in the world, and I like to share a little bit of cuteness on it, but it's because they are my life, and that's what I've got to share. You know, I just want to. I'm a human. I'm human. I can't sit in a studio for 6 hours straight and, you know, as much as I would want to at times. I can't do that at the moment, especially while my daughter's home. So it's, you know, it's teaching me things. It's taught me to really be in the moment, to be very in the moment, and put your phone aside, and you know, really catch them moments with your family. And I think that's another thing that I've actually learned. And not to say that I was over the top on the mobile, but even just being able to put it down and not look at it so often, just because you're in the moment doing jigsaw puzzles and whatever. Yeah, that's definitely things that I've learned whilst I've been with them. But yeah, that's beautiful, man. It's such a joy to see, man, and your love for your family and the love for the music just really speaks, you know, just throughout your social media, as well as when I see you on the sets, even bro, when I saw you at Tresillo, that Christmas party, bro. Started off with Mariah Carey, bro, the Ballet of Funk edit of it. I'm just oh shit, yeah, this is a fucking great twist. Everyone was vibing, man. Well, again, even now, thinking, I actually thought about that. That was when I dressed up as Santa, huh?
Yeah, hey.
Yeah, so even then, I think, so the more I was doing sets, my DJ sets now anyway, the more I've become kind of I like to create a certain intro, and then a certain outro. Not always outro, but an intro is a very important thing to me. And the way I view it is the way, say, X DJ plays festivals, right? The opener of this festival is insane. It's one of the first things you remember. Not always, but the DJs that I like, they're like the lighting, the smoke, the fire throughout the sets, the visuals, and the music as well. It's crazy. So like even for my DJs, so when I'm doing a special that Mariah Carey, I actually made that probably like the week of that set of specifically for that, because I knew it was Christmas time. It was it just made sense that it all played to part, and it worked out well. But yeah, I think I hold that very closely to me when I do play sets. So I like to, I always have a certain idea of what I'm going to play. But I think my intro, usually, I'm going to say 90% of the time, is already chosen before I play. And it's always, and I'd like to think it's always a banger.
No, bro, it's genius, right? It's always the number one song every year during that time, and why not make a spin to it? Everyone moves to it.
Yeah, exactly. So I think, I hold that very closely to me as a DJ. I think it's really important to understand, I think it's just what makes a difference, like really like paying attention to the first track, or it's an intro. It's like you're heading. It's like you're heading to your essay. It's got to be, if the heading doesn't catch you, then you might not stick around for the rest of the book. So it's like, that's how I see it. That's how I see it personally. And I'm hoping in the near future, after all this situation, we can start booking some festival shows, and then we can really adapt to that. But I can say that I've never been more ready. I've never been more ready for that stuff. So
fantastic. No, that's great to see, man, in your evolution of your career and everything, man. Yeah,
well, again, it's been a good time to really fix or brush up on the minor things that, like for me as well, like I use visuals, and I think that's obviously important once you get to the festival platform. So that's the kind of stuff that I've been working on if it's not music, so I'm ready. I just need them.
Yeah, that's what it is, man.
Any
last words you want to leave with us before we wrap things up, man?
Any last words?
Yeah, anything you want to get off your chest, whatever it is. Like the mic is yours, the floor is yours, whatever that saying is.
Not really. All I'm gonna say is maybe come out, let's catch good vibes. And then that's it. Like let's have fun. I hope everybody's safe at the moment. I don't know when this is gonna go up, but we hope that I hope everybody's safe at the moment and just chilling. I think the parties when this is all over might be insane. Hey, it's going to be insane because everybody's eager to come out. So in the meantime, I'll just be continuing to work on music. I've actually I picked up a guitar again. So I'm just like, I've been using this time to just like brush up on some skills that I've had that I just never thought I could actually use. You know what I mean? So that's it, I guess. Thanks for having me again.
No worries, man. Plug your social medias. Where can people find you? And they should definitely check out them lives, huh?
Yeah. So at the moment, I'm at DJ Smilez Official on everywhere, everything: SoundCloud, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. DJ Smilez with the Z.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's what it is. And you can find us at therealmelbourne.com, playlists, mix shows, even the podcast episodes as well. You can find all that there. And if you want to contact us, just through the website or through an Instagram DM, we appreciate DJ Smilez for joining us here for our first quarantine interview, man. This was really sick, man. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for having me, bro.